Okay, in this video we're going to take a quick tour of our Canvas website and look at your to-do list for week 1. So when you log into Canvas, you're going to start on this homepage, and as you can see, if you scroll down a bit, I've essentially made a to-do list for you. So start by watching this video, reading the syllabus, and watching the syllabus video, updating your notification preferences, blah blah blah. And there's think of this as a checklist. That's why I made them boxes. Complete the discussion activity, complete some tutorials, an assignment, and check in. Also notice there is a Canvas generated to-do list over here. So this is helpful that Canvas tells you you have a bunch of stuff due, but Canvas doesn't know the best order to put them in and doesn't provide the context associated with them. Things end up on a Canvas to-do list when they have a programmed due date. Likewise with your calendar, anything that has a programmed due date will show up in your calendar, but again, don't use the Canvas generated to-do list or the calendar as how you navigate your week. That you have stuff on your calendar is supposed to be helpful, but the thing you should definitely do is use our home page to navigate what you should do and in what order you should do it. Generally, the order won't really matter, but I'm going to put them in the order that makes the most sense. So we've got our home page. It's updating today, Wednesday, and in the future I'll have it updated before earlier in the day on Wednesday. And each Wednesday morning the homepage will update. It'll have your to-do list for the week, and everything will be due the following Wednesday. So let's look at our to-do list for this week. So one thing that might be on your to-do list is dropping by my office hours. I would love to meet you. So definitely feel free to drop by. I definitely recommend it. We are participating in a discussion activity. I recommend starting with this. Get this one right out of the way. I recommend doing the argument mapping tutorials next. These tutorials, as described here, should take you about an hour and a half to 2 hours. If it takes you less, either you are 100% getting it and feel like a master of argument mapping, or you're probably not spending enough time on it. Be sure to take these lessons seriously because they are foundational for the course. If you're taking more than 2 hours, maybe you're being too much of a perfectionist about it. So try to find that sweet spot of, I'm taking these seriously and I definitely want to learn this material, but I'm not going to be a perfectionist. I'm aiming for like 80%, and that's okay. Okay, so be sure to read the description, invite the advice in my makeup points policy. When you click on this link, do it here, it'll take you to this list of tutorials. I'm going to navigate back to the home page now. As you can see, we're in modules. You got there by clicking on this. Where this link took you is to the modules page. So on the modules page is just another place where I've organized a to-do list for you. And in this case, so up here I've just put all of the argument mapping tutorials together. You can see that I completed argument mapping 1, so I have a little check mark here. And I've also created a week 1 module, and for every week I'll have a module that says what all the things due are that week. And so I put the lessons here as well, just because they are in week 1, and the check mark automatically shows up here too. So this is just a nice way to visually see check marks next to all the things that you've done. And I'm also going to link to the home page. So let's say that the home page is now set up for week 2, and you want to remember, wait, what was on week 1 homepage? It's in the week 1 module. So this will take me back to this page. Okay, so argument mapping tutorials. Now when you, and I said this in the description, but perhaps it's worth taking a look at it. When you open up a tutorial, it says take the quiz. Do not panic. It is not a quiz. It is a tutorial. So you will encounter videos that present material, practice exercises where you can answer it, and then on the next screen you will see the solution, and you can navigate back and update your answer so you don't have to like keep redoing the assignment to get a good score. You can change your answers as you go. Just be sure to give it a real shot. Watch the videos, answer the questions before moving on to see the solutions. Okay, so that's the argument mapping tutorials. And then you'll have a short homework assignment. So the basic instructions are draw upon the discussion and the argument mapping lesson. So do this after you've completed the first two things. So draw upon those to write up an argument, analyze it, and rewrite it. So let's take a look at that together. When you click on this, it'll take you to the assignment. Similarly, if you're on the home page and you went to modules and you scrolled down to week 1, this would take you to the same place. Okay, note, complete this after these two things. So here are the instructions. It's going to ask you to make a copy of a Google Doc. There's also a Word doc version of it, but I highly recommend you use Google Drive because we're going to use software, mind mapping software, that syncs up with your Google Drive. So it might be nice to just have everything in one place, but it's up to you. Okay, so you're going to be prompted to make a copy. Do that. And here's the assignment with the full instructions. So your guiding question is cereal soup? Part 1, write up an argument. There are some tips here, but I want to just highlight. Your task is just to write up an argument, any argument. It doesn't have to be a good argument. You don't have to agree with the position you take. It could be something you're just coming up with, playing devil's advocate. It doesn't even need to be a well-written argument. Just any argument will do, so long as it takes a position, presents some reasoning for that position, and considers in response to an objection. So just write something up. Do not be a perfectionist about this at all. Then, draw upon our lesson 2 skills. Once you've taken lesson 2, this will make more sense, to analyze that passage. So you've written something here, you'll copy and paste it here. And then you will follow these instructions to annotate it. And then you will rewrite that same argument in a different way. Now, the purpose of this assignment is to really emphasize the writerly choices that you are making when you present arguments, because you can present one and the same underlying argument in multiple different ways. So, emphasizing that you are making writerly choices, part of the assignment. The other point of doing this is to emphasize that when we are analyzing passages or longer papers for arguments, we're trying to, the way that the person in your tutorial videos puts it, we're trying to develop a kind of X-ray vision for argumentative structures. So this is a practice in realizing that the structure of your argument is something separate from how you've presented it in words, and that you can present in words the same argument or the same structure in different ways. Okay, so that is homework number 1. Once you have, I'm going to open that back up. Once you've finished this assignment, just go to File, Download, PDF, and then submit that PDF here. Oops. Okay. So that's homework 1. And finally, you've got a check-in. So again, just like with the tutorials, it's going to say take the quiz. It's not a quiz, it's a check-in. It's just a super short check-in. How are you doing Are you finding everything? What's your major? Okay, so that's everything on your to-do list for the week. Don't hesitate to poke around in the main menu over here and also in the sort of main nav menu over here. In my present view, you can't see the Pronto icon, but you should have a Pronto icon here, so maybe send me a test message to say hello if you want to check out Pronto. There's an announcements tab. You can see that there's an announcement for the first day of class. We already looked at the modules tab. You can see discussions by heading to the discussions tab. It's one way to navigate back to them. Later we'll use Perusall, links to support and the Mesa library. And then finally you have a grade center. We're going to be doing quite a few little assignments, so sometimes the grade center will be kind of confusing. You can arrange it by assignment group, due date, or module. These different ways of arranging it might sort of make more sense. And you can see the major categories. They're not all here right now, but the major categories of things, the same thing that are in the chart on the syllabus. Finally, something I want to point out about the grade center is that you have this option to calculate based only on graded assignments or turn that off and it's on everything. This means that there's potential for your grade as displayed up here to be misleading. So if you've only turned in one tutorial and nothing else, it'll show that you have an A in the class, but that wouldn't be true if it's week 3 and you've done nothing, right? So knowing that you can toggle this, and also if you have it untoggled but stuff just hasn't been graded, that might not be accurate either. So keep that in mind. Okay, and that completes my tour of Canvas. So good luck with your first week of material, and don't hesitate to reach out to ask a question or even just to say hello. I look forward to hearing from you.